Welcome back to another episode of the Finance Bible Podcast.
Welcome back.
You're joined with myself, Zeke, and fellow co-founder, Big Dog Don.
That's it. Nothing's changed. How many episodes are we? 40. I think we're maybe high 40s, about to hit the half a century, which is exciting.
We're about there. I got an interesting stat pop up on the old account. We've been streamed in about 70 countries worldwide.
That's insane.
I know, very odd.
Who would have thought?
Guys, as per usual, it's not a financial advice podcast. Anything we say is general. Two mates having a chat. If you want financial advice, reach out to someone who can provide it. We work with professionals who can legally do so.
And that's hence why we have that disclaimer at the start. I think it's at the start, isn't it? Or at the end?
Generally at the start. Yeah. But I figured
sometimes we have to just pop it in though.
I might just scrap it and...
massive call.
Bang, we've just done it.
Another massive call. And getting onto a bit of a topic is the cost of living at the moment for, we're both in our 20s, mid-20s, or early to mid-20s. Actually, we're not even mid-20s yet.
Oz is at late 20s. He's actually only a few years off the old 30.
And I'm 24.
Yeah, mate, you're getting up there.
You've lost the plot. And you're 23 or whatever.
Oh.
But, especially for people our age, higher cost of living gets a lot of people struggling with rent, groceries, and balancing that social life as well as wanting to travel, because especially now, as we all saw June, July, every single person in
Europe,
in Australia was in Europe.
They weren't in Australia, yeah. And
they let the world know about it, didn't they? Bloody hell. Shocking to look at. But it's expensive as. You try and get a flight to, where do you even fly into? London or something? I've never been to Europe.
Yeah, they probably land in London, I dare say. They're stopping off in Amsterdam and stuff like that.
Yeah, but from what I've heard, it's, a meal at London, $20 here is probably like $35 there.
That's cool.
So the whole world economy is just messed up right now. Is that a pun, cooked?
No. But if people our age are in a tough position, imagine all those families in their 40s, their 50s, $800,000 mortgages like the average Australian, interest rates going up about 1.5%. It equates to a good couple of $100 per week out of the old spending bucket. Tough times for all.
Yeah, we just saw the mortgage repayments going up. One of our clients who we met with the other week, they're paying, what was it, an extra $400 a month or something on their mortgage repayments.
It was hypothetical scenario. A client had $1.8 million in debt on the home, fixed at about 1.5% until December. So if you got 1.8 million jumping from 1.5% to probably 3.9, 4.1 on that level of debt, you're talking a good maybe $450 to $500 per week. Their repayments will go up. So a lot of Australians are in the same position. It's getting a bit hard for some people. And then you've got people who aren't in positions to get paid, or they're not getting paid frequently, or they're basically just not in a position they can get a pay rise. Basically, to get a pay rise, super important in today. Inflation is sitting at 6% or around that. I think it's probably a good time to do 5 traits of success.
Well, that's what I was going to go into, because we got the higher cost of living, interest rates are going up. People are feeling the pressure around their neck. It is
the squeeze.
A lot of people are struggling. And, you can go out and find different ways of passive income and try different things. But at the end of the day, it's all on yourself. You have to be committed. You got to find a strategy, the best way to, you got to find ways to reduce the impact of high cost living and take advantage of it. So we've come up with a few different traits of, let's call it success. So we've come up with around 5 traits of success, which anyone can adapt into their roles. So let's say, you're a real estate agent, or you're just in sales.
Or a janitor.
Or you work 9 to 5, a shift worker, you're in marketing, whatever it may be. these 5 traits can adapt to any single industry, any single job. So I feel like the first one is...
Tell me your number one. I want to hear your number one. Let's not do them in order. There's no order, guys.
Mate, no order. My number one for success is invest daily on personal development on your skill levels.
You stole mine.
Yeah. So we, Zeke, you can confirm this. If we are we're in front of a lot of people every day.
Can confirm.
Meeting new people, trying to help people solve their problems, etc. And it's one thing to just do that job, go home and sleep. But if we don't increase our skills, our knowledge, our personal skills, etc., we're not going to increase that for our future. So read a book, do a course online, just become educated. You can never stop learning. It's the most important skill, and the biggest expense in your life is not having the right skill sets. So top performers thrive on knowledge. It has to be the right knowledge. So let's say you're in a car driving to work.
Oh, here we go.
You have the option. Do you want to play Olivia Rodrigo all day, which we love?
That does sound good.
We love. Or you're in a car. You got to basically university on wheels. Get a podcast on. Listen to us. Listen to an area where you want to improve your skills. So it might be how to sell this, how to connect with people, etc. But there's really so many different avenues you can.
You could even throw an audiobook on, for example.
Audiobooks are elite.
Get on YouTube. Pretty sure they've got a bunch on there. You can get on Rich Dad Poor Dad. I know that. I did the audiobook, never read the actual thing. Just half an hour before bed, throw the headphones on, I'm on.
You're on. Oh, I just remember the quote. So the biggest expense, well, not a quote, but the biggest expense in your life is the lack of knowledge. There we go.
Yep. The biggest quote, if we're actually talking quotes, is actually the shortest quote.
Oh.
Short steps, long vision.
Love that.
That's what it is when you're investing in yourself. Developing your skill level.
Investing in yourself, investing in the stock market, unless you're on a specky.
Everything you do really is short steps, long vision. You go to school in kindergarten so that you can do something when you're 30 years old. And each year that goes by, each day that goes by is just a little step you're taking closer and closer to that goal.
100%. It's got to be done.
Of it like that.
Oh, there you go, you're a little poet. Yeah. Mate, second one, what do you reckon?
I reckon the second one is be committed. So whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you want to do, whatever goals you have, whatever you want to achieve, whether you're advancing your skill level, going to work, playing a sport, whatever it is you're doing, be committed. So what are you currently doing daily that shows you're committed? Every night before bed, what are you doing? Are you writing a list of what you should be doing tomorrow and committing to that? Are you disciplined? Who holds you accountable? Are you in a position where if you don't do something, there's a punishment for it or a consequence? What are the consequences if you don't commit?
I feel like this is a grilling. The roast.
Mate, I feel like I'm going to be cut up on TikTok and put as motivational reels.
We might have to do that, actually. Just put your face on it.
I had a thought the other day. I don't know if this is actually relevant at all, if I'm a clown or if people will resonate with this. I was playing a game on my PS5 and I just had a random thought. I went, hang on a minute. Why am I playing this game? Why am I trying to build this character in this virtual world and get them the skills to go on and conquer whatever they needed to do, be the number one, finish the game, live their life, accomplish everything. When I'm a first-hand game.
Yeah, literally.
We are a first-hand game. Why are we playing games to advance characters when we can advance ourselves?
Yeah, literally. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
It's like me and my NBA 2K22 trying to build up my player to be the best.
Yeah,
I should have just gone to the NBA myself.
Yeah, you get them doing training, you get them doing all these things that you should be doing, and you make them do it because you know it's what they need to do.
Yeah.
But then you won't do it yourself. So I had a big resonation with that the other day. And yeah, that's, if you agree, you agree. If you don't, I'm sorry.
I agree. And I guess lastly on the be committed conversation is if you want to be great, you have to do things other people are not willing to do. So that's, if you're starting a business, that's late nights, you're hustling away, getting this ready, getting all the things sorted. If you're, at work, you're trying to impress the boss and surpass your other colleagues, you're putting those extra hours, writing up that, I don't know what other jobs are apart from sales, to be honest. You're doing the extra hours, you're going over the bare minimum. You're really giving it a real shot. So you've got to be willing to do what other people don't.
We've all been committed with something in our life. Think back to that.
Relationships.
For boys, or generically speaking, it's not all boys, but generally speaking, if we go back to high school... Are we going to get shut down? No, we're not going to get shut down. It's a very peaceful... If we go back to high school, I know at least like 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 boys at some point were like, you know what, I want this girl. And they were committed to getting her. So they had, spend all the days talking, pretending they cared about things they didn't care about. They'd be going to the gym, they'd be eating healthy, they'd be putting in the effort to get in front of them to show off about things, and they'd do this and that. That's commitment.
I love how you're saying 2 blokes at school when I know for a fact it was you.
Mate, everyone did it.
Because I remember you told me you had like a 6-month time frame. You pump in the gym.
You've got to go
just
off.
For what's her name?
Oh, mate,
who we won't say.
It wasn't just that. I was playing soccer, trying to get fit. There was a bunch of things going on.
That's right. We'll leave it there.
We won't share your story, but
my story.
We won't share
it's
it.
My story. Right. I don't even know my story.
We won't tell your story. It's yours to tell.
What's my story?
But they don't want to hear it. All right.
Oh no!
Again, generally speaking, females in high school, I might be overstepping here. Year 10, 11, 12, the commitment to getting good grades at school. I don't know if your school shared the same, but there was like...
I didn't have girls at my school, so I wouldn't know.
Shut up.
I didn't.
Were you in all boys?
I went to all boys.
That explains a lot. But yeah, I remember legal studies and PE, like content-heavy subjects. You go in the class at lunch to talk crap with the teacher or sell them some food or something like that, and you'd see there'd be a full classroom, girls in there just pumping out notes. You're thinking, what the heck? Assignments, 11 p.m. at night. They'd be studying and getting all their notes. They want a high HSC, high ATAR in New South Wales. I think Melbourne share it. So they can get into whatever job they want at uni. That took commitment. That's it for commitment.
That's a very good finish. I was getting ready to cut you off just in case that went a different direction.
No. All respect here.
All right, number 3, which I think is pretty important, especially if you're in a workplace in the office and you get distracted quite a little bit, is resign from the company club. Company club meaning, the group of friends you might have at work who want to chat to you all day. They want to come over and distract you. They want to talk about the weekend. They want to talk about, their date. They want to talk about everything and distracting you from the work. So what this also means is people who, let's just put it into a sales perspective because that's what we're kind of used to. So when you're in sales, you might get given some leads. You got to try and call and see if they're interested. So if you're in the company club, generally people in that club complain about everything but themselves. So they'll complain about, it's a Tuesday, no one answers the phone. Oh, it's, the leads are shocking. Oh, this bloke's getting all of them. Oh, this is happening. When deep down, it's your work ethic. You got to, mentally, you have to prepare yourself and be committed, like we spoke about, to perform on game day. It's like the AFL Grand Final. You have the whole year to play the home and away season and the pre-season as well, pre-season training. Round 1, you're ready to go because you've been prepared. You're prepared December the year before from the start of the training or November. And then you play all up until September, hope to get a gig in the finals. And if you don't make it, there's going to be some clubs that complain and make excuses. Oh, these players got injured and everything. But at the end of the day...
The Raiders.
Is that the Raiders in the NRL?
Yeah, Ricky Stewart, mate, had a big sook. Oh, yeah. Well, keep going.
They're part of the company club. They complain everything but themselves. Collingwood in 2018, they had a few injuries and they still made the grand final. We lost, unfortunately. But anyway, so yeah, resign from the company club. If someone comes over to you and wants to distract you, but you're committed to doing a good job and you have aspirations to get a pay bump or do your own thing, whatever it may be, just let them know.
I like that you call it the company club. I've got a similar thing, but I call it the kitchen complainers.
Yeah, right.
Because it always takes place in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You're out cooking lunch, you're on the frying pan baking some eggs, or you got some toast in there. Not a lot of kitchens at work have a frying pan, but some do.
I was just going to say, I don't think we got a frying pan.
You got Jackie, Joanne, and Susan, and then Karen as well.
What about Jim, Doug, and Nathan?
Oh, mate, they're always going off too. Jim, Doug, and Nathan, they're the worst. Nathan is like the Karen of... Nathan's actually... Every workplace I've been in, except this one, I've met someone called Nathan, bang, instantly my best friend.
Oh, really? Unreal.
So that's why I didn't go Jim, Doug, and Nathan. But anyway, Big Kaz is out there cooking up a storm. Oh, the bloody leads are crap, mate. And then Susan's over there as well, going off. She's got a walking stick out. She's going to hit whoever the boss is. Get me some good leads. It's just going off.
Oh, it's so good.
Kitchen complainers.
Kitchen complainers. But yeah, at the end of the day, don't blame... What's the tradie quote? A bad tradie blames his tools. Is that it?
Yeah,
something like that.
They always blame their tools, mate. It's a good tradie, never blames his tools.
Yeah, that's exactly related to any workplace, any industry. Whatever we're saying, just articulate it in your own workplace.
Yeah, so if it's not sales, it could be anything. A good example, hospitality.
Great example.
This is actually perfect for the kitchen complainers.
Yeah, right.
You're in the kitchen at Macca's. You're cooking up a storm, making some burgers, and you're getting pumped. It's going a bit slow. You start blaming the toaster. Oh, it's taking too long. It's not coming out in 12 seconds. It's coming out in 15. Or you blame the grill for not cooking the tender one fast enough, or whatever it is. You just start blaming other things and complaining. Just get better. Cook the meat better, mate. Put it through the toaster with the right technique. Make it come out on time. Get the wrapper pre-set up. Get it all done. Ugh, Macca's.
That was you back in the day.
Oh, man, I was a king. I was a kitchen king, not kitchen complainer.
Kitchen king. All right, what's the next one?
I think I'm going to go with treat all clients, prospects, customers, whatever they are for your industry, with a bit of respect. RESPECT.
Even if they don't purchase from you or dine in.
And if you don't think they deserve it.
Yeah, because there are some rude, customers out there who you are biting your tongue for not, lashing out and actually going off. So, yeah, we've all been there before, but you've just got to put on a brave face and cop it. Word
of mouth can be a bitch, or it can be an absolute hero.
I love this. This episode's great. This is like a Tony Robbins buddy podcast. Unreal.
I've never listened to that person, but I'll take it on board. So if you've got 5 customers come in, one of them's a bit of a clown, we'll say, and you have a go at them, you don't serve them, you treat them poorly or something like that. That's a retail industry. Hospitality, a customer comes in, same thing. So it works for retail hospitality. Sales role, you're on the phone talking to a prospect. He says something you don't agree with. You tell him he's an idiot. Shut up. Hang up the phone. There are a few different industries. That prospect or that customer or that client or whatever, they haven't bought from you now, or they have, either. And they go and tell 3 of their friends what happened. They go tell 3 of their friends who tell 3 of their friends. Next minute, 150 people are no longer coming to your store. They're no longer wanting to come to Macca's. They're no longer wanting to go to Glaçons. Great shop. They're no longer wanting to. They're no longer wanting to. The people listening are going to be, why were there 2 boys in Glaçons? We were doing a shopping trip for some of the girls. Or if you're the prospecting one, that's 100 people who now won't come on board for your financial planning or buying whatever you were selling. You got to treat people with respect. Simple.
And let's say, for argument's sake, you have a customer come in, or let's say you're working on a big company for marketing, social media, or for sales. They love what you have to say, and they say, look, it's not the right time for us. It's, I love everything you said, but realistically, it's probably a 6-month conversation. You could be like, oh, well, F you, I did all this for you and you don't even want to do business with me. What a waste of my time. Or you take the approach, not a problem at all, Jim. Let's set up a time in a few months to go over things again, blah, blah, blah. A few months' time, he's going to ring you and say, hey, Oscar, look, as I said, loved the chat last time. I'm actually ready to go now. It's because you kept that relationship. You treated them with respect. You didn't, shit them off when they told you they were not interested.
Well, it could be as simple as, they were in your shop to buy new shoes. You helped them out for a few hours, figuring it out. It wasn't quite the right time. Sports season was starting in 5 months. They weren't sure what was going to change between now and then. Or they didn't have the money right now, or they had some other time commitments, or whatever it is. But speaking from personal experience, I've had clients come on board 18 months after I spoke with them. 18 months, that's a long time.
And in a customer's position, if you're in retail, and I know some retailers, for the staff, if they sell a certain amount of items, they actually get like a bonus, I've heard.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so me and Cody, who lives with us, we actually went to a shop to buy some clothes and some shoes probably a few months ago, actually, and this ripper of a bloke, he literally took us under his arms, and he was basically our personalised fashion consultant. So we said, mate, we're thinking we buy this. What do you think? And he said, no. Why would you get that? This looks way better on you. Anyway, long story short, everything he recommended was unreal. And it matched, our skin type, our hair color, everything in that industry. And we walked past his store today, and I remembered, I said, oh, there he is, absolute legend in there. If I ever want something, I'm going in there, going straight to him, because last time I was with him, he treated me with respect and helped me out. So that's just, if you treat your clients with respect, they continue to come back. They're repeat customers. So even though it might be a few months later, you want to keep snowballing that, because they're going to tell their friends for the positive reasons now, not the negative reasons. So now, instead of 150 people not coming to you, now they will come to you because they've heard about the experience you had.
We've only got time for 5 today. I've done a couple. You've done a couple. What do you want to be the last one?
You got to prepare yourself for everything.
Well said. I'll take it.
Everything.
So, an example of being prepared, it kind of goes in hand with being committed, in my opinion, to an extent. If you're being prepared or being committed, the next day you're going to have everything set up, ready to go. If you're committed, you're going to have a list of things to do. Being prepared, similar. You're going to be ready, got everything ready to go because you are committed. An example of that would be in retail, being prepared is
knowing the whole store items back to front. So knowing the range of clothes, how much they are, how many you have in stock. I think because I worked in retail on Christmas casual one year.
Well, here we go.
Bit of a flex.
Where at?
Under Armour in Melbourne.
Under Armour, great shop.
Good news
Did you meet Dwayne?
No, I didn't actually, but I got 5 free items up to $1,000, which was unreal.
Sheesh.
Got shoes with a step tracker in them. Anyway, long story short, if I was prepared in that job and actually knew all the items back to front, to be honest, I knew nothing because I was just doing it for some money over summer.
But you weren't very committed. No,
and I wasn't prepared. And preparing starts as soon as you wake up. If you have a morning routine, if you have a morning routine, it puts you in the mindset straight away. So for myself, I like to work out first thing in the morning, have a shower, do some training, some personal development training when I get home, and then go to work. That's my routine. If I don't do that, my mind's off.
Yeah, you're boggled.
Literally.
Can confirm.
Literally, I'm out of it for the first 4 hours of the day.
There's no Oscar.
It's very odd. So I think when we say being prepared, it comes to that as well. So find out what you need to do for yourself before going to work and having a ripper of a day. So that might be meditating, that might be going for a walk, might be seeing friends, might be, reading a book. Everyone has their own little thing, but you need to figure that out, because that's what's going to be the difference between you staying where you are and where you want to be financially, career-wise. It relates to literally everything.
Yeah, I think being prepared, a good example, let's think back to the last time you did a job interview that you actually cared about. You had an alarm set for that day. You got up, you did this, you did that, you had your coffee, you had breakfast, you brushed your teeth, you did some push-ups, got a pec pump going so you impressed the interviewer. You sat down with your mum or your sister or your brother or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever they are the day before and went through what you're going to answer for specific questions. What do I do if they say this? What do I do if I say that? You've researched the company. You've gone on their website. You know what they are. If you know the interviewee, you've gone on LinkedIn. You've done a little stalk. You've gone on Facebook, figured out what they're like, what their personal life is, so you can actually take advantage of that and exploit it in the meeting. You've left 10 minutes early, so you've accounted for the traffic. You've got there. You've had a breath mint. You've done your tie or your suit or your trousers or whatever, I don't know, a dress, your red dress, you zipped it up, you're all good to go. That's being prepared. But yeah, you got to be prepared. If you don't give yourself the best shot, are you really going to get the best outcome?
Yeah.
And if you don't get the best outcome because you're not prepared, what impact does that have on you?
But yeah, as we mentioned earlier, and we kind of angled this podcast to a motivational speech, but if you get on top of these 5 areas of personal development and mentality, you will be able to outrun the cost of living as it is increasing, and it probably will continue in the next 15 to 20 years, as we all know, with inflation. But if you focus on yourself and your development, and then wherever you want to go in life, financially, career-wise, etc., you can get there. You just got to have the right skills. You got to have the right mindset and get a structure that works well for you in a routine. Because personally, that's a do or die for me.
Yeah, wrapping it back to the initial conversation of the cost of living, the interest rate, the inflation, all of that kind of stuff. We're talking things going up like between 6 and 10% this year, all around. If you're on 100 grand, you need to enable yourself to make an extra 6 or 10 grand per year, and that's before tax. You might actually need to bump it up a good 15, a good 20, a good 30, triple it, call it 300. Why stop there? These things will allow you to do that.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for listening. If you have any questions, always reach out to us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. And if you haven't already, subscribed to the podcast on Spotify, give us a like, throw us some reviews on Apple as well. And yeah, reach out, as I said, if you have any other if you want some clarification on some points we touched on.
Yep. We'll catch you all next time and share it around. We'll just release the next one when we get time again.
And go the Pies.
Go the Pies.
Go the Pies.
Big call. Close game. No good. We don't want Oscar upset. We're just going to end it. See you guys.
Bye.